So Saturday night's main event is this weekend, and so far we have around 4 matches officially announced for the, I guess you could say, TV special. Because this isn't really a PLE, this is more of a network special for NBC and Peacock, and it really isn't more of a PLE. So far we've only had 4 matches announced, and I think this show runs for a total of 2 hours plus commercials. So maybe they end up with just 4 matches. Maybe they add a 5th and final match before the, I guess, network special. Who knows? But as far as the 4 matches that we have announced, I'm gonna quickly go over my predictions for each single one of these matches. Starting off, I guess you could say, with the World Heavyweight Championship, that being main event Jey Uso, the World Heavyweight Champion, defending against Logan Paul. Really, this match, you obviously know who's going to come out on top. You obviously know why he's going to come out on top. That's going to be main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso is going to win this match. He's going to roll into the next Monday night challenging Gunther. Gunther and Jey Uso is the, I would assume, penciled in match for that episode of Monday Night Raw. The whole Jey Uso and Logan Paul story, if there even is a story there, I don't even know what the story is, so to speak, because really we haven't seen much of Logan Paul and Jey Uso interact within the last couple of weeks. Obviously, we all thought this match was going to happen at Backlash, but it turns out they, kind of pivoted, I guess, in a sense, and had, this match take place instead this weekend with Saturday night's main event. Honestly, it's a first defense for Jey Uso. He's obviously going to get the win here. He's obviously going to move on to Gunther and Jey Uso the next Monday night, which is really what I'm interested in rather than this whole Logan Paul Jey Uso stuff. But yeah, like I said, Jey Uso walking away with the World Heavyweight Championship. Next, we move on to the tag team match, that being Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker against Sami Zayn and CM Punk. So I fully predict going into this match a Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker win. A couple of reasons why. But number one, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, they've been billed as sort of the new coming of this Evolution stable, whatever you want to call them, Dangerous Alliance, whatever it may be. They're obviously the new kids on the block, so to speak, as far as the whole faction goes, and they're kind of running the angle of can they coexist with Sami Zayn and CM Punk. There's been a lot of, theories thrown around as far as whether or not Sami Zayn is going to turn heel on CM Punk. I don't really believe that's going to be the case. What I end up, believing is going to happen here in this tag team match is there's going to be an instance where maybe there's miscommunication between Zayn and Punk. That leads with, Seth and Braun picking up the win over both of these men as they move on to, bigger and better things such as the World Heavyweight Championship and so on and so forth. So I do believe that there's going to be some sort of, miscommunication between Punk and Zayn. We may also see a Roman Reigns return. I know Roman Reigns isn't slated to, be back officially on television until Money in the Bank season, but I guess they could kind of set up, what he's going to be doing at Money in the Bank, if he returns at Saturday night's main event and maybe, helps Zayn and Punk, so to speak. So you could also see the return of Roman Reigns as well. You also have the steel cage match between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. So like I said, this past Friday night, I fully predict that Damian Priest is going to walk into this match in the steel cage match and end up winning this match because Drew McIntyre has really gotten the best of Priest within the last couple of months, right? He got the better of him at WrestleMania. He got a win over him at WrestleMania. At Backlash, neither man won the United States Championship. And I really feel like if Priest goes in here and loses, it's not gonna, it's not gonna necessarily bury him, but it's not gonna help him really as well because this guy, he's lost already to McIntyre. And you're kind of expecting him now to go in there and to get his win back. So especially with the whole steel cage, stipulation of this match, I fully predict that this is probably going to end up with a Damian Priest win. And like I said, with McIntyre, you could probably switch him over to a Cody Rhodes program down in the summertime. And we move on to the main event match, which is John Cena against R-Truth. To my knowledge, I don't believe this is for the WWE Championship. It could be, but I haven't really heard them mention the fact that it could be for the WWE title. But regardless, John Cena against R-Truth in 2025 is fucking bananas when you think about it, because these two guys, obviously they had their little history back in 2011. R-Truth has been, saying that John Cena is his childhood hero, even though that makes no sense as far as the timeline wise or whatever it goes. But what I can see happening here is mainly two things. Maybe R-Truth is the man who actually brings back John Cena, right? Brings back that babyface good side of John Cena, and maybe that's how John Cena returns back to being a babyface, because we saw sort of the ending, closing credits of Backlash where Cena almost looked remorseful for his actions. So you could maybe have him see somebody like an R-Truth, somebody who hasn't really given up on him. Maybe he comes to his senses, or maybe Cena does end up coming to his senses, but then realizes, what is he doing, and then goes at R-Truth and destroys R-Truth, putting even more heat on Cena. Because really, when you think about it, Cena hasn't really gotten as much heat as you would have expected him to get, right? He's not coming out there every single week, and he's not getting like Dominic Mysterio levels of heat. So I think if you add R-Truth and you have him sort of as a sacrificial lamb, almost kind of how Jimmy Uso was used in that whole Gunther and Jey Uso thing, where he's kind of like the guy being destroyed to further the story, the overall story between Cena and eventually maybe Cody. So I could see, Cena going in there and destroying R-Truth as well. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know your thoughts and your predictions for the Saturday night's main event. And as always, I will see all of you on the next one.